Hi guys, my name's Latoya. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Today we're going to talk about a topic that makes a few people uncomfortable, but it is super important to me and I just really want to share my journey with you guys. Guys, I am talking about weight loss. I have been exercising routinely for close to 2 years with personal training and with group lessons, and then also on my own, and it has been helpful. I am stronger. I have great muscle mass, all of that. But guys, I am not losing weight and it's been a little frustrating. Even with dieting to some degree, I don't necessarily diet per se, but maybe like reducing the amount of certain things that are unhealthy. Even with that, I'm still not losing weight. In fact, my weight is climbing. So I reached out to my doctor. I had a physical coming up. I had already been doing a little research on YouTube and, watching other folks who were hoping to lose weight as well. And when I met with my doctor, I mentioned to him the idea of possibly looking at Wegovy. And guys, I was so nervous, even though he's been my doctor for like 17 years. We have a great rapport. He is by far the best physician I've ever interacted with. And, we have a good trust. He knows who I am. He knows, X, Y, and Z about me. I was still a little nervous because I know some folks are either all for it or all against it, and there's a few that may be in the gray area, but for the most part, everybody has a stance. And I was one of those people for a while, until now. And so I spoke with him about it, and he thought it was an amazing idea, which shocked me to death. Quite honestly, he thought it was an amazing idea. He has never been necessarily concerned about my weight, even though the scale says a large number. He looks at me from a health standpoint. All of my organs are healthy. I've never had an abnormal lab other than, some vitamin D issues here and there in the past. But he looks at it as more, hey, let's get ahead of it before, it does, because I do start having issues and things like that. So I was super excited that he had this stance of just basically like, hey, I'm happy with the way you look and things, but if you're not feeling great, then why not? And so he went on ahead and wrote a prescription for me. I transitioned into a federal job in January. Never would have done this. This was the last thing on my mind. Opportunities presented themselves multiple times over the years. And I was just like, no. But finally I went with it. And I'm so glad I did, because my federal Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance does, approve Wegovy, and I know a lot of health insurance companies do not. And so I was super excited to find that out, and then the next day I had my approval. And so the tricky thing, as many of you already know, is that it's hard to find these types of medications. And so I did call my pharmacy that I typically go to. They of course did not have it. They told me, sister pharmacies are probably not going to have it either, but good luck. And I was like, but I wanted to stay within, that particular network, which I go to Walmart pharmacy. So I called a few, they didn't have it. But then the last one I chose to call, which is only, I don't know, maybe 5 miles from my house. It was so funny. Let me back up. When I called the previous pharmacies and I said, hey, I have this prescription at this other location for Wegovy. Do y'all have the starting dose of 0.25 milligrams in stock? And all of them were like, hey, we might. Let me double check and make sure we hadn't sold out of them all, because we sell them, as soon as we get them, we sell them. And all of them came back and were like, hey, we don't have it. So this last one that I called, that's about 5 miles from my house, they were like, what's your name? What's your date of birth? Okay, I'll have it ready for you in 20 minutes. And I was just like stunned for a second, because I was like, okay, all right. I'll be there in 20 minutes. And so I went, I got the medication. but not without a couple of hurdles. Initially, there was some issues with transferring the prescription over from one pharmacy to the next. That got resolved. Then it was a matter of like getting the cost situated. Long story short, it ended up being $24.99, but I had already went on Wegovy's website and have something on there that basically says, hey, you could spend as little as $0 on Wegovy. And then they give you like a code and like the RX bin and stuff like that. Kind of like if you have like a good RX card. And so I gave that information to them. And then the next thing I knew, they were like, okay, so this is how you give it. Have a good day. I'm like, $0? They're like, $0. Y'all, up there, $0. I know some people pay full price for it, and I think the receipt said full price is like $1,600 or so for 1 month. But y'all, by the grace of God, $0. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, had I not done that federal job, I probably would be paying, you know, an enormous amount, which I wouldn't have been paying because it's probably wouldn't have been in my budget. You know what I mean? So I'm super excited. And I had prayed about this before too. I was like, Lord, like, if this is something you do want me to pursue, you know, let it be, you know, relatively easy. But if it is something you truly don't want me to pursue, you know, put roadblocks in my way, make this hard, help, let me know. Going back to what I said about, you know, I had strong opinions about it before. I never considered taking medication to lose weight. You know, historically, you know, we're just told, hey, diet and exercise and you'll be fine. Well, that's not true. They don't factor in hormones. They don't factor in other, you know, issues that people may be having medically and things like that. Like, it's hard to lose weight as you get older. And even if you're exercising and doing all these things, I mean, guys, I work out 3 to 5 times a week. Yes, I'm gaining muscle, but this fat is going nowhere. And so started hearing about, you know, the good outcomes that are happening from GLP-1 medications like Wegovy, like Ozempic, like Mounjaro. I was like, well, you know, let me do some research. Let me look at it. I am a healthcare provider. I'm not a doctor or nurse, but I do work in healthcare and have for, you know, well over a decade. So I'm like, let me just look at it, see what, you know, just see. And once I got the thumbs up from my doctor that, hey, like, yeah, you may feel some nausea, but I think you'll be fine. I was like, okay, we're going to try it. We're going to do it. So I say all that to say, I administered my first dose of Wegovy on Saturday. Today is Wednesday. I have had a little bit of nausea the first couple of days early in the morning when I went to the gym. And I'm certain that's because I'm doing, you know, lots of movement and crunching my stomach, you know, all that kind of stuff. But like, it subsided. It wasn't something that I was just miserable. I think I took some nausea medicine once since all of this began, and that was really because I didn't know, oh, is this going to progress into something worse? So but I haven't felt compelled to do it since then. I'm not constipated, which or let me back up, I am normally constipated, so I'm no worse than normal, you know. So that's good. Those are the main things I've been worried about, is like the GI stuff, the nausea, the vomiting, the diarrhea, the constipation. Like, I just wondered how that was going to go, but so far it's going okay. I mean, I can handle a little nausea in the morning. So I'm happy. In my next video, I will talk about how much weight I've lost in week 1. And then just kind of give you my thoughts on it further. Please, 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 please make sure that if you enjoy this content, if you like this, that you like, share, subscribe, tell your mama, whoever, you know, to come check me out. I think I'm going to make a series out of this. This is something that's like heavy for me, and that's been really important to me for a while. You know, the whole losing weight. And in my next video too, I'll also talk about some of the health things, the health reasons why I finally was like, okay, if this works, this could be a really good thing. For me, I was having, or I am having some issues that I'm like, this is going to progress into something worse. I see it happen all the time with my patients. So we'll talk about that some more. But like I said, make sure you like, share, subscribe, let everyone know. Tell me, you know, how your journey's going if you're on a GLP-1 medication, and just let's go through this together, guys. Okay, so I will see you guys soon. Love you. Bye.